the boss.
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Hey. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, welcome to the Berlin Open Stage Show, the Boss Podcast.
Yeah, this is the podcast where anyone can sign up to host their own podcast episode. And we get a lot of interesting characters who join us and host their own episodes. We're doing an episode over Zoom now again.
Yeah, we're back on Zoom. We've done a couple live episodes. We've been very, very, very fortunate, I think, to have had the opportunity to do some live episodes. But it's kind of nice to be back on Zoom, you know.
Absolutely, and it's cool when the meeting is starting and you don't, because we don't know who signed up.
Yeah.
Anyone can appear.
Yep.
And we had very interesting characters appear this week.
Yeah, we should also just say right but I'm Trevor and
I'm Steintor. Yeah. Oh my God,
just
where
to
are our manners?
not gloss over that. But that's true.
Yeah.
And this was an interesting sign up that they clicked in to the waiting room right at the beginning at 7:30 p.m. sharp on this day that we don't need to tell you what day it is. Doesn't matter. And you, as a big basketball fan, got a pretty lucky situation.
Absolutely.
Here.
I mean, yeah, I've been watching the NBA bubble, the so-called, they call it the bubble. The NBA season moved into this compound in Disney World in Orlando, Florida, to complete the playoffs and the finals that LeBron and the LA Lakers ended up winning against the Miami Heat. And I was watching these games which were taking place without fans, without anyone present, everyone getting COVID tested every day, I think, or every other day. No cases the whole time. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of exciting things happened within that too. I mean, not only is that a crazy endeavor that, you know, was revolutionary for a sporting season, and the player, it was a new experience for the players. They're playing, you know, without fans. It's a different style of play.
Yeah,
and then
no home courts.
No home courts. And I don't even think that they covered it in this episode necessarily, but then there was the Wildcat strikes almost and all that kind of stuff.
The whole kind of social justice movement that was happening with the NBA players taking a stand. Yeah. It was great. It was a great
So many things to talk about, basically.
So many things to talk about. And who should enter this Zoom meeting room but people who are actually there, the staff inside the NBA bubble, the people who were keeping the things going in there. And they have a lot of interesting takes on what was happening and why, you know, things went how they did.
Yeah, so I think this episode is for anyone who loves basketball or is generally interested in how people are creatively handling the pandemic right now. So sit back, relax, and listen to the NBA Bubble Babble with Dubron Ames.
All right, boys, how's everyone doing? Y'all got your coffee, you're ready to go, you have your beverages by your side, ready to record this thing?
Ready, yeah. Thanks for having me on, bud.
Great. Well, this has been a hell of a time, I gotta say, boys. When we're just out of the bubble, everyone's COVID-free and safe. Everyone's good out there in the real world.
I'm still in the bubble, Dubron. I'm still in the bubble.
Oh, you are?
You're still in the bubble?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I should probably introduce myself. I'm Dubron Ames. I ran the merch store in the NBA bubble. For those of you who don't know, the NBA was sequestered for the playoffs and a part of the season to avoid any of them COVID outbreaks. Successfully, I might add. I'm a Florida native. I've been running the merch store here at Disney World, actually, for several years now. A lot of people say I'm the best in the biz, and that's why they asked me to keep running the merch store in the bubble, even though there was no fans to buy any of the merch. So I had to get creative with how I sold it. And, you know, I think afterwards, coming out of all this, a lot of people were saying I'm actually the GOAT, the greatest of all time merch salesman in the history of the NBA and maybe other.
You got my vote.
Sports. Thank you, DeBryce. That's very kind of you. You know, a lot of people say that Michael Saudi Arabia over there in Chicago is one of the best ones, but a lot of people clamoring for DuBron Ames to take the top spot, I gotta say. So, we are gathered here to talk about the experience we all had in the bubble. We all had our different roles. Let me just start off by introducing DeBryce Edwards.
Thanks for having me on.
Water specialist, am I right?
Hydration consultant, yeah.
Of course.
Under exclusive contract with 12 NBA teams.
Wow.
So I provide the finest of my exclusive recipe of water to 12 professional NBA teams. I had the pleasure of meeting you two gentlemen in the bubble. We got to know each other. Maybe a little bit too much, but I'm looking forward to sharing some stories. What can I say? I discovered my calling. I wasn't always a water guy. I was more of a Mountain Dew guy. I didn't really drink a glass of water until I finished college, basically.
Wow, sounds like a Florida native to me.
Well, originally from Switzerland, army brat, but I was in Joshua Tree, tripping balls, and dehydrated there and lost my friends. And
you lost them permanently, or?
I don't know. They haven't called me back since they left me in the desert. But then, when I came to, I had a vision, and now I know it was Neptune. At the time, I wasn't sure what was going on, and he was kind of like going through my backpack, going through my stuff.
Now you know,
and
it
I
was
caught him,
the god Neptune.
And then he turned around and he gave me this whole spiel about water being the only truth in life, and everything else is poison. And from then on in, I was a new man. I got a scholarship at the Wasserman Institute in the Alps. Learned about, went to Sprudel Academy. You name it, I've done it. And I think, I made a name for myself with my custom waters. That really kind of gave me the edge. And I got invited to the bubble, and it was my first playoffs. It's a young man's game, water, and I'm out here, under 30. Just slinging my wares,
That's beautiful, Bryce.
Yeah, that's me.
We'll come back to you now. Jerry Gullible.
Hey, how's it going? It's really good to be here.
One of my best pals from the bubble.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of the connecting tissue between a lot of people here in the bubble. As you can see from behind me, I worked in the call center here at the ESPN Worldwide of Sports. I always can never figure out exactly what it was. But specifically, I worked in the COVID hotline, aka sort of the players' snitch hotline is what they kind of called it, which was where they would report each other, people who weren't necessarily following guidelines or maybe breaking their quarantine, stuff like that. So I was sort of the inside ear to everything that was going on, a little bit of a spy, maybe even, if I can give myself that much credit. But I just had a good time working in the NBA bubble. It was a dream come true.
Beautiful. Now, I guess it's just the three of us for this recording.
Whoa,
I'm excited to get...
Hold up. What? You're not going to introduce me?
Who's that?
You guys know.
Who's there? I can't see anyone.
Just look a little harder, I would say. Don't I look familiar to you? Wait, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna really. It takes some work for me to do this, but I'm gonna come into my solid form. It's easier to just be out there in the ether, but This takes a lot of energy.
Solid form. Yeah. This is like water shapeshifting.
Ice
vapor.
I'm not like an ice person. You know me.
Is it Johnny Depp?
No, you guys all know me. I used to play in the NBA, and now I'm, dead.
Hang on.
That could be anyone.
That could be
a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
It's me, but you don't know Bison Daly? Me? Look at me. I'm like 6'10" here.
Bison Daly.
Yeah. I got.
Wait, you were the one who was who disappeared at sea, I believe. Some 18 years ago.
I heard there was some foul play there.
Okay, this is making a lot of sense to some of the phone calls I was getting during the season.
These motherfucker killed me. My brother killed me on my own boat.
Wow.
I'm still mad about it, even as a ghost. Like, you think I have this ghost?
You're a ghost?
Well, how do you think I just appeared out of nowhere? You see that? You see other people like descend into physical being in front of you, man. Like just believe what's in front of your eyes.
I mean, you descended into a physical being on a computer.
On a Zoom call.
On a Zoom call.
Yeah, well, I'm into all of I'm into all the latest Apple products and stuff. Just being a ghost doesn't mean you don't have taste in electronics and like cool gadgets and stuff.
But looking up on Google, it says you passed away in 2002.
Yeah, I said I'm a ghost, bro.
What took you so long? Why haven't you appeared before?
Oh, I've been around. I've been in the bubble, man.
You've been in the bubble? Where you
were in the bubble before the bubble?
They've been taking COVID tests of you?
I think we lost. We lost the ghost of Bison.
There's one place.
I think we momentarily exercised you, Bison.
Yeah, no, I must not have good Wi-Fi.
It's hard to get good Wi-Fi in a spirit realm. I've got this.
Now we hear.
I've got this Comcast connection, and they're just the worst.
That's the worst.
It is.
They don't have good Wi-Fi.
I work in telecommunications.
But
they're the worst.
But I've been in the NBA bubble. It's been my main haunt.
Nice ghost
pun
jokes.
Intended. Yeah. My main haunt these days was the bubble. I've been, people always say, what's it like to haunt NBA players? And
people say that?
People say
I've
that.
never heard anyone say that.
Well, you're not a ghost, so maybe people talk to you about physical existence.
He's the goat.
Shit, man.
I'm the goat.
You ever think about why would you guys are so human, living being centric that you don't even think about what it's like to be what do they call us? I don't know. But I get you guys call us paranormal, but I actually find the term offensive because it's normal to me to be a ghost.
Yeah.
It's only
paranormal to us, but pretty normal for you.
Yeah, it's like it's a very
this is pretty normal activity.
Yeah, I mean, ghosts just don't get included in the inclusiveness conversation. So, but this is, we're not here to talk about that. That's my issue. That's one of my core issues. But outside of all this inclusiveness stuff, which, hasn't gone far enough, I was in the NBA bubble and, I haunted some. And people think I like to haunt NBA players, but it's no fun to haunt NBA players because they're always working hard, going to the gym, going hard. And it's just like, you get fucking tired, man. That's what I did in my life on the world. I played at NBA basketball. I'm sick of that. But it's fucking cool to haunt water boys and shit. You guys have cool lives. So I heard you were doing this podcast and I was like, man, I got to zoom into that and talk about some of my haunts because they were dope haunts in the bubble, bro.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Daly?
Oh, yeah.
I assume your brother is with you there. How was that?
Oh, I fucked him up.
Again?
Yeah.
Wow, in the ghost realm?
Revenge.
Well,
so is he in another sort of second tier spiritual realm? Did you kill him?
Like fifth tier, bro. Like I had to banish him a couple tiers away, man. You can't just kill a man on Earth and then expect that you can roll around in the same spiritual world as him. There's still like spiritual beef. And yeah, that dude, I smoked him like 5 realms away. So.
I'm happy for you personally.
Thank you.
I think it was a tragedy.
I love it.
If you get killed in the ghost world, then you go to another level of the ghost world, and then you kill there, you get further up the levels of the ghost world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand exactly how it works because I'm not like a ghost scientist. I don't know, like, they say expert in paranormal studies, but I don't like that word paranormal because again, it's normal for me. Yeah, but there's all kinds of there's all kinds of physics to the world that I live in. But I'm not a nerd, so I don't get it. But I know I don't see my brothers like lame double crossing ass around here in my realm anymore. And that's what's important to me, I'd say. Bye, fool.
That's great. That's great.
Should we talk some basketball?
We're happy to have you with us.
Let's talk
now
bubble.
that everyone's been introduced.
Let's burst the bubble. That's what I like to say.
The big experiment. It worked, everyone. It worked. We're all happy
Zero
with
COVID
it.
cases.
Zero cases. Now, if we could just get started, going into this, I was a little worried about, how I'm going to run my merch store in a non-fan environment. So I was trying to sell the merch to the players themselves. Like, hey, would you like a shirt of someone other than yourself from a different team? And they were like, man, no, I get those at the end of the game. If I play that team, then, I can swap. So that wasn't going very well. But maybe I was, I was up for the challenge. How did your jobs go in the bubble?
For me, my job was never not interesting. I'll tell you that much. Every day at work was a new adventure. Like I said, I was managing the snitch hotline. Mostly was here by myself, big old call center, and kind of was manning the phones alone. It wasn't too crazy very often, but sometimes I get the strangest calls. Like I guess I have some crazy stories. Some things that like players I'd never heard of would get reported on the snitch hotline for breaking protocols. Like one time, it was pretty bad. Luka Doncic, actually, he called in and he was saying, I gotta, me and the team, we gotta report someone like this. We take this very seriously. So I'm like, okay. And
Luka was snitching?
Yeah, no, well, it was pretty common actually. Basically, anyone in the top the top season leaders list is going to have snitched at some point.
Wow,
they're trying to get by. They're trying to get a competitive edge,
Yeah, but their stories were what made it interesting. So I was expecting they would actually be reporting on the other team, but they would give me these reports, and I do a little digging, and I couldn't figure out who these people were. So, like for example, Luka calls, and he's reporting that someone was breaking quarantine, and he says, "My cunt is breaking quarantine." And I'm like, okay. So I'm looking up. I said, could you spell that out for me? And he says, yeah, Mike Hunt. And I looked this up, and there's no player in the NBA named Mike Hunt.
Did he say, there's a person called Hunt, first name Mike? Did he say it like that, or?
Probably at some point.
Did you then repeat the name in the regular fashion, first name, first?
Yeah, I kept saying Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt. Like, what team does Mike Hunt play for?
Wow.
What position does Mike Hunt play?
Yeah, I mean, is Mike Hunt good at dribbling?
Yeah.
Does the Mike Hunt get slam dunked on a lot? Or?
And so I'm like, okay, so Mike Hunt broke quarantine, I guess. Was Mike Hunt seeing anybody? Was Mike Hunt, letting
Did you have
people
to
into
track
the bubble?
down Mike Hunt?
Yeah. Do I have to go look for Mike Hunt? I mean, come on. That's just one example of something that happened to me.
Well, if you do get the dirt on Mike Hunt, then of course Mike Hunt needs to be banished from the bubble.
Yeah, well, of course. I'm still looking. I think one thing that a lot of people don't quite understand is that even though the bubble has ended, the season's over, we're still going through a lot of violations, and there may be some things that come to light now.
Yeah, well, I didn't do any of that snitching myself. Too busy trying to sling my wares. How about you, DeBryce? Did you?
Yeah, as I said, I just wanted to really step my game up. So, I had been dabbling. I kind of mastered perfecting hydration through a scientific lens. And so I kind of went back to the drawing board and tried to figure out, what could give me the edge in this competition. And so I discovered an ancient medieval book of spells in the Black Forest in the south of Germany, and there was a lot of recipes there
for water
that included pineal glands of certain animals, hormones, and then you kind of strain everything through kind of a catgut filter, and you get kind of like a murky purple substance. and this became tremendously popular with a lot of teams. I can talk about the teams now. You know, I signed an NDA, but you know the playoffs are over now, and I'm happy to say, you know, I was an integral part of the Lakers winning.
Wow.
You know,
so they were drinking your stuff.
LeBron himself, you know, he paid extra for the top level of my juices, because you know the scum would rise to the top, and all the juicy bits at the top would be kind of more enriched than the bottom of the barrel.
That's so interesting that like your water, which sounds like, you know, no offense, is completely unhygienic.
No, please, yeah.
Was so popular at this time when we are creating a bubble to basically quarantine away from a pandemic. I mean, that's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about that beforehand or afterwards, but I guess, you know, we're just talking amongst friends here. It's not like this conversation is going to get out and anyone's going to find out about what happened.
Right, yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
We can talk, you know, we can shoot the shit.
Yeah. But that must be like, do you, I mean, I don't want to make any assumptions, but do you feel worried perhaps that you maybe are starting another pandemic with some of the water that you've been giving people?
I mean, I'm not a scientist, you know, I'm just here to make sure guys perform at the top level. And, you know, I asked
more
around.
More of an alchemist, I guess, in a way.
I like that. I think, you know, my main concern, and I checked with my lawyer, who's also my mother, and it's not doping. So I'm safe. It's not doping. Right. You know, these are hormones that are found naturally in the body.
Yeah, I mean,
not in human bodies, but in animal bodies.
Well, yeah, you know, there's been this problem in the NBA for a while about players doping. They have this human growth hormone. But you are saying this is an animal growth hormone.
This is, you know, it's a mixture of like woodland creatures. It's honey badgers, foxes, chickens.
It's honey badger growth hormone and chicken growth hormone.
It's totally legit. You know, it has positive effects for the body. I'm on it right now, and I feel great. And
do you feel like clucking? Do you feel like clucking or?
I mean, I have laid an egg. Upon closer inspection, it was just a really hard white stool. Nothing was in it. So that was a relief.
Yeah. Not concerning.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Inhabiting the body of a honey badger. I did that once.
Maybe I milked you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I saw what you were up to, homie. It was like looked up and it's like I want to be one of those honey badgers that.
Nothing escapes your eye.
Now that is interesting though. That maybe you were milking bison, and that is why this water was so good for NBA players, because you were using the ghost milk.
Bison growth hormone.
Yeah,
that's almost like that could be a Space Jam 3 plot.
Yeah, I wanted to get a little bit of that honey badger life, but also get a little bit of let you have a little bit of bison juice to get to those NBA players, because you know I played with Michael Jordan. If you get a little bit of a spiritual dust, if you call it, I thought that might be good for LeBron, for the Lakers.
And you used bison juice as well. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, sometimes I drank my own piss when I was a human.
Also probably when you were stranded out there on that boat.
Yeah, well, I got killed on that, but please don't talk about the boat. Have some respect. Like, there's some, like.
Well, you brought it up. You said you solved the mystery. We didn't know how you died, and you.
Well, you know, I had to. You know, people want me to explain stuff, right? But, and I can't help but explain stuff. But that boat, there's a lot of trauma there. But I have drank my own piss. I mean, how else? That's like. Everybody wants a little bison juice, am I right? Yeah. Who wouldn't?
I definitely do.
Sure, yeah. And you've been.
You've had some too. Don't worry, homie. I've been having all kinds of stuff that you've been drinking.
I mean, we can talk later after the call. We can set up a system. I don't know if you accept human currency or some sort of ghost currency, but we can arrange something.
Oh, I love human currency. I told you, I got the new iPhone. I love it. I gotta have this. So usually I just steal it, but.
Do ghosts use Bitcoin? I mean, that's like ephemeral too and ethereal. Use
Different.
Ethereum?
That's oh
Creepy
yeah,
currency.
yeah. I I do use Ethereum. It's very it just appeals to my heart in a way that none of the other cryptocurrencies do, as you would imagine. But yeah, I love popping in animals, popping in humans.
Are you
So you're kind of like
that?
Zeus. Like Zeus would come into an animal and then make love to a woman and then give birth to a demigod.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't like to compare myself to the Greek gods because they never played in the NBA,
That's true.
and I never lived on
Famously true.
Mount Olympus. So it's like apples, oranges, cats, dogs. You don't compare them. But I do like to get in. I do like to get into people's bodies, and I once I got into somebody who was and made a call to the snitch line actually.
So you've been teleporting into player bodies in the bubble?
No, well, I told you I don't like to teleport into player bodies, but
Coaches?
I was coaches. Yeah, so I got myself into Mr. Greg Popovich.
Wow, Pop
And
himself.
We had
One
a
of the
nice
greats.
call with you. Had a nice call with you, Jerry. Do you remember when we had a talk? You, me, as Pop.
Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, Greg. Yeah. So I thought it was actually Greg Popovich, but I guess it was
No.
was you and yeah, you were reporting a player who had broken sort of social distancing repeatedly, not wearing masks and stuff like that, and just getting too close. And you said Hugh Janus keeps getting too close, and I really want to report Hugh Janus. And I was like, okay, well, let me just get that name. So what, could you spell that out for me? And you said, yeah, it's Hugh, first name Hugh, second name Janus. And I was like, Hugh Janus, well, it's not coming up on my list. So I'm still working on that case, Bison. I almost called you Greg there, but I guess still working on that case.
Yeah, you don't have to call me Greg anymore. It's me, Bison Deli.
Yeah, but I am still getting to the bottom of it. A lot of mysterious calls.
Wow, that's a little tip, little hint from what was happening in the bubble, because it got crazy in there. I gotta say, people don't even know. We were all locked down for this longest time, just the players trying to entertain themselves, and we know that people were trying to sneak in some romantic partners, and we know the case of Daniel House, who had sex with a COVID tester. We are to believe.
I inhabited her too. Yeah.
You inhabited the COVID tester?
Yeah. Oh man, that was
during intercourse.
I mean, what do you think ghosts do with our spare time? We got fun too, just like you guys. Yeah. Oh man, that was. Oh man, I got rocked.
So can you tell us anything about Daniel House's game in the sack? We know how he plays on the court. He's the 3-point specialist.
Oh yeah, no, he's
handsy.
in the sack. He's more like down in the post, like physical game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that dude. He gets real physical. He's got hands akimbo. A
lot of finesse though. A lot of finesse for a big man.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
this is
a wing.
This is interesting to me because I didn't realize that you were inhabiting the body of this person, because you actually then were the one who called and reported that he had violated the quarantine rules. So you really were looking for bragging rights, I guess.
Well, I wanted the Lakers to win that series. I had money on it, so I had multiple incentives.
You're using your creepy coins to bet on games?
Oh yeah, I love betting on games. It's something that I just, even as a ghost, there's joy to getting a little action. And so in that case, I got action in more ways than one. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Sure did. So you're saying that you Bison and you DeBryce, you both had a hand in the Lakers winning that championship.
Oh yeah, I was pivotal. At one point, LeBron looked over to me, was steely-eyed, and he said, "Can I have some water?" And I said, "Yeah." And now 2 months later, I got this ring.
Wow, you got a championship.
Not as flashy as the traditional championship ring, but we all kind of pitched in on the design separately, and we figured it out. I got it custom made. It's got my name in it and everything. And,
it looks quite kind of like a wedding ring.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't find it. It was definitely like custom made. I went to the jeweler that they all go to. And people try and take it away from us. People are like, it's a bubble, it doesn't count. If anything, it counts more. We're under so much pressure. You're not seeing my family for 3 months. I don't have any family, but it would be nice to.
By family, you mean the Greek gods, right? The Greek gods is your family, Neptune and.
I think, yeah. I mean, if Neptune had visited me, but he only comes to me when I'm dehydrated, and I haven't been dehydrated since. So
I see. Now, I gotta say, I feel like I had a little bit of a hand there in the Lakers champion run as well, because as you know, I was trying to sell my merch, and sometimes the guy would come around and they would ask me how things were going, and Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo, they showed up, and the Heat players before the game one of the finals, they came in and they were like, "How are you doing? Are you selling anything?" And I guess they took pity on me a little bit. So I sold some shoes to Goran Dragic and said, "These will give you luck in game one." And I sold an undershirt to Bam Adebayo, like very tight over the shoulder, and I said, this will also give you luck, but they ended up both getting injured in game one.
I heard Bam's nipples were sheared off.
They were completely sheared off. That was underreported because people just talked about the shoulder injury.
That was ugly. I also had an exclusive contract with Miami Heat, and I was just trying to pour water over these two seeping wounds on his chest, and he was just crying. And are you're confessing to this now, or?
Well, I just sold them the items. They decided to wear them in game. So, I think maybe I had a hand in injuring two of the main players for the Heat, top 2 of 3 big players for the Heat, that ended up losing then in 6 games.
Wow.
So, I guess we're all sort of responsible, except for you, Jerry. I don't know if you had any hand in it.
I don't know if I necessarily had a hand in helping any teams win, since I'm still like chasing down all these leads I had. I wasn't able to actually bring any serious repercussions to anybody that was reported. But there was some weird stuff going on around the championship game. I do remember getting a call from some of the Lakers, LeBron and Anthony Davis. I was getting people, they were calling in and they said there's reports of the Heat are sneaking in a new player that isn't on the roster and that hasn't been quarantining. And they said, can you look into who this new player Fondle Mashunk is? Fondle Mashunk. I've never heard of Fondle Mashunk before.
I think he's Argentinian.
Yeah, something. I mean, it's quite an interesting name, Fondle Mashunk. And I said, could you spell that for me? And they said, yeah, sure. So
they called you on speakerphone, the two of them, and you could hear a lot of snickering in the background.
But they're always laughing and stuff like that,
Jokesters.
They're funny guys, and but I take my job seriously, and I'm the only one here in this COVID hotline, and so if there's something to be reported, my first assumption can't be that it's some kind of prank or something.
But I do know that you reported this to security, and security raided all the Miami players' hotel rooms on the night before Game 6.
Yeah, looking for who fondled my junk.
Yeah, they kept going. They were like, "Where's fondled my junk? Who fondled my junk? Who fondled my junk? Tell me."
Yeah.
And they woke them up, and they didn't get a good night's sleep before Game 6. So.
So maybe
Jimmy Butler looked awful tired in that game. I got to tell you.
Maybe I did have a hand in fondle my junk. I don't know.
Well, I hear fondle my junk shooting is, has not been great.
No.
Yeah, it
very
just kind
of
sprays it all over the place.
Yeah,
I heard he has cold hands.
Yeah. But still trying to figure out who this player is. So I think maybe it's a good lead. Maybe they're Argentinian or something though.
Now, the Bison, you stayed in the bubble for the entire time, or you just zooming out there throughout the ether, throughout the whole world?
I was all about that bubble.
All about that bubble.
That's where the action was. Yeah.
And no one snitched on you. You were inhabiting people's bodies. You were causing all sort of havoc. Nobody snitched on you.
I like to think, what's there to snitch on? Because everybody wants a little bit of Bison, as you know. So
also like who you're gonna Zoom call. You don't know who you're gonna call.
Zoom call?
Yeah, if you want to snitch on a ghost, who you gonna Zoom call?
Yeah, I don't know. Would you say
How would you bust one?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really take my physical form very much because, as I told you guys, it's a bit hard to take physical form. It takes a lot out of me. But I was inside some of the assistant coaches. Like I was inside the LA the LA Clippers.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was inside some of the LA Clippers assistant coaches. Like I got inside Ty Lue, and
he's a new head coach, right?
Yeah. Like I really Ty and I really wanted that job for him. So, I in that series against Denver.
They underperformed. They did a bad job.
Yeah, we got up 3-1, and I started putting itching powder in Kawhi's shoes and Paul George's shoes. I don't know if you guys knew this. They did not play well in those last 3 games. And, look who's the head coach now.
So you're the kingmaker of the bubble.
Yeah. So
I think just to add as well, the Clippers, I tried to get access to them. I tried to work with them. I reached out. I was really concerned. And strangely, they're the only team in the bubble to have an exclusive contract with milk. So no Gatorade, no water. It's very strange.
This is
to do with
global
bones,
milk. Global
bone
milk.
Growth.
Big milk.
But yeah, and this is not the first time I've had a team taken away from me by another liquid. So yeah, I mean, the bubble was fun, but it was also, you got to watch your back. There's always like milk lobby. There's always people coming after your business. You can attest to this. Trying to claim a space for yourself with the merch stand.
Yeah, definitely. Like everyone's coming for my throne. People say that Michael Saudi Arabia was better than me just because he won more titles in the merch competitions. I feel like I've had a long.
It's a different game now, though.
It is. It's a different game. It's
It's evolved.
It's evolved. It's more specific. It's not all about who can be the most aggressive, and also there's more talent in the game now. I'm up against some great merch salesmen all over the 30 cities, and I feel like I've been here in Orlando just absolutely slaying it just since the days of Dwight Howard, since the days of Shaq. Actually, it was unbelievable when Orlando Magic drafted Shaq. I sold so many shirts, and a lot of people were saying it was thanks to me because nobody was that interested in Shaq. It's all my way of selling shirts.
I heard you came up with the Superman thing and everything.
Absolutely, I came up with all of Shaq's nicknames: Shaq Diesel, the Big Aristotle, Shaq Fu. I was responsible for the movie Kazam.
Yeah, I heard you wrote the script for that.
Yeah, I did. I wrote the script for Kazam, and a lot of people said it was great. And it got. I don't know how it did, in the box office or with the critics, but like Shaq.
I liked your other work. I like Boondock Saints. I like Jiggly with Ben Affleck. I think you're criminally underrated, man.
And while we're talking about movies, I mean, you're following right in Michael Saudi Arabia's footsteps. You're in Merch Jam 2 right now.
I'm in Merch Jam 2.
That's huge.
People were saying, I was following in his footsteps, and Warner Brothers were very interested in having me there.
Or was it Space Merch? Was it Merch Jam or Space Merch? I can't remember.
Well, we still haven't decided on a title.
Oh, okay.
But basically, it's me trying to sell merch to Bugs Bunny.
You could release 2 of them, like one Merch Jam, one Space Merch, and each have a different ending. And
there's a market for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. And let's talk about new markets. I mean, you're selling masks. This is the first time you've ever had to sell masks, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I did. I was trying to sell masks to the players, but they said we all been tested already. We don't need them. So I started putting some slogans on the masks, like, you know, maybe their catchphrases or whatever. To try, like, you could pull out all sorts of insults towards your opposing team on the mask, like that. You can sneak it in there, kind of. So, but a lot of those masks just said Bison Daily rules. I don't know why that.
Yeah.
That's kind of coming together for me now.
Yeah, there were also some other interesting masks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the Mike Hunt masks were very popular. The huge anus masks and fondle my whatever.
And we also had I'm a Virgin.
Yeah, all the players kept ordering that and then giving it back to me as a gift.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Mel Lester.
Very popular mask, molester.
I got a question for Bison. I just pulled up your stats here, and all due respect, you have career average 11 points, 1 assist, 50% field goal. That's pretty good, and having a ghost on your podcast is gonna be pretty good for followers. But I can't help but I would be remiss if I didn't ask. Could you get Kobe? Because then that would be huge for the podcast. He is the GOAT. No offense to you. You were brutally murdered and stuff. That's really tragic. But if you have access to that would be great. No, all due respect.
Kobe, he's an interesting one. I'll tell you. I've seen him around the.
You're not in his tier, I assume.
No, Kobe and I've seen him around the realm. We just call it the realm. The other people have, longer names for it, but it's like, we have ghost slang, how you guys have, and the realm is like the way we refer to it. Kobe, he lives in the realm like he lived on Earth, and he's a hard guy to approach. You try to talk to Kobe, and he calls himself these days. He calls himself Ghost Mamba. Of course,
that's pretty good. Very good.
That's so him. That's so on brand.
So he likes to inhabit the bodies of really intense competitors. But he doesn't do basketball players. He's gotten really into the professional handball scene. So wow. It's really that dude is just always just sending on these intense handball players in the streets of Peru and El Salvador.
Probably in Reykjavik as well. Big handball culture in Iceland.
It's where they have the bubble, the handball bubble, right?
Yeah, they have a handball bubble in Iceland.
So Kobe is just going hard on handball, getting in those handball champs, and it's just he's just in this different. His competitive spirit just never gives up.
Now I want to ask you.
Also, he's really into World's Strongest Man competitions too. He gets into those guys. He just
no doubt.
Also popular in Iceland. I don't know why I know these things about Iceland, but. Can you tell me one thing, Bison? Has Kobe ever mentioned my name? Because a lot of people said it was thanks to me that I drove Shaq out of Orlando and to join up with Kobe in LA. And a lot of people thanked me for that. They said it was a good move.
I did talk to Kobe about you, and he said that you're a punk ass bitch and that Michael Saudi Arabia is the GOAT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a direct speaker.
That's a scoop.
I just think I think he's saying that he's just trying to light a fire under my ass so I can play better. That's the Mamba method.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Now that just
man, he saw you outside of LeBron's castle in the bubble every single day, trying to get in there, trying to make friends. Kobe saw that shit, man. I told you.
He said he respects the hustle, though.
You got to pick your GOAT, and you picked your GOAT.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think I'll take that to heart. I know he's a fierce competitor, and I will apply the Mamba method to my merch sales. Now, speaking about that, just finally at the end of the episode, we should probably talk about our post-bubble lives, because my merch sales have, if anything, gone down after the bubble. Not only because there's no basketball, but also just people aren't out and about, I guess, hitting up the Disney World compound and the Orlando Magic Arena. So
Must be tough, man.
It is, but I want to cement my status as the GOAT, so I don't give up. I've been going up to people's houses, selling the merch personally, wearing a mask.
How are they receiving that?
Well, they comment on my mask, which says I'm an asshole. I don't know, like it's one of the masks.
I'm an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
That's on my list.
I guess it's I've an asshole. Like first name, last name asshole. First name Ivan. Yeah.
The Russian power forward. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good with his hands.
That's the lead I'm working with. Yeah.
He's a very penetrative player. He likes to drive.
He's kind of dirty though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he talks a lot of shit. How have things been going for you all outside the bubble?
For me, like I said, I'm still in the bubble. The job kind of doesn't end until I've checked off every lead that I'm supposed to follow through on. They've kind of
Is anyone else there?
No, as you can see, completely empty. I mean, there was the rest of the staff at other parts of the Disney resorts are around doing stuff.
And you're getting paid for this or commissioned.
Still working on that. Obviously I'm a lone wolf.
Right.
Don't have the backing of a union or anything like that,
Freelance,
unfortunately.
yeah.
But I'm still working.
I heard that you're still getting calls. I heard that Mickey Mouse called you up.
Yeah, so I'm getting calls, from different Disney personalities like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Goofy, all these people. But I am getting a lot of calls from players still, because they're saying, well, since it seems like you're having a hard time tracing these people, like we can do the efforts of contact tracing for you, so we can tell you who they may have infected now. So now my list is growing, and I'm looking for Dixie Wrecked, I'm looking for Gay Bathhouse, I'm looking for Handjob, I'm looking for Herb Ever Smells, I'm looking for Dixon Sides.
You're just rattling these off.
Yeah.
So
I got a list in front of me. I mean,
Mickey Mouse would call you and just say,
hey, I'm looking for.
I heard Gay Bathhouse. I heard Gay Bathhouse broke the COVID rules. Oh.
And Mickey also is like, if you're looking for Gay Bathhouse, you might want to look for Fellatio. Oh. Funny. I don't know. I'm still looking.
They're in cahoots together with Ivan Asshole, I believe.
I mean, maybe if you were more successful in hunting these guys down, the NBA might actually pay you. Just a word of advice,
Yeah. Well, it's true. I have. So far, the snitch hotline was very unsuccessful. It was seemed like a lot of fun, but it was high traffic, very little utility.
Well, I think one day you will crack Huge Asshole.
Thanks. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get inside that Huge Asshole case.
Well, it's successful in that there were no cases and we were able to keep the bubble COVID-free. Now, DeBryce, how about you? Your water business?
I mean, for me, there was crazy party at the end with the guys, with the Los Angeles Lakers, the winners. It was crazy 4-day hangover.
You made the champagne for their celebrations, right?
I made the champagne.
With water.
They said, "What did you put in this?" I've been sick for 6 days, but you know how they are—they're just partying. So I'm already looking forward to the NBA announced the season should start again Christmas Day. So I don't normally have plans for Christmas Day, so that's fine. I'm ready to work. So I was trying to kind of hone in on a new formula, and I kind of cracked an idea, like the most nourishing beverage one can have is, the mother's milk. And so now I'm trying to sell this idea to players where I kind of make a tailor-made energy drink for them based on their mother's milk. So the mother is part of the process.
Now, did that idea come from your lawyer?
It came from my lawyer, and my mother,
And I believe Anthony Kiedis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers as well, right?
Great, yeah. I mean, I was out in Joshua Tree, that's where I get my ideas, and I saw a bunch of cassette tapes in the sand, and some of the kind of classic chilies were out there, the mother's milk, blood sugar, sex, magic, obviously. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm really excited about it. I've already got a couple of players on board. I got like Lou Williams, just Lou right now.
Yeah,
but he seems excited. He's a good brand ambassador, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to the next stage. The next season.
Yeah, he's there on the LA Clippers right now. So we're talking about starting up with Californication of the product and then moving on.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, very maybe like Danny California vibes. I'm trying to get Kiedis involved. He's a fan. He's a fan of my work.
I heard I read some of the reports from the people who tested the product, and they wrote down, "I don't ever want to feel like I did that day." So I guess they didn't like the milk.
No. I mean, initially they wanted me to take me to the place that they loved, but once they got there, they realized it wasn't so great.
Yeah, that's what it's
Where's
like.
it, under the bridge downtown? Is that what?
That's where our HQ is, okay. Downtown LA, next to Skid Row.
All right, now Bison, what's next now that the bubble is over? What do you plan to do with your ghostly abilities?
Oh man, I've really taken to this whole Disney environment. I've been inhabiting. There's the Disney characters that walk around in costume. I mean, there's no one visiting the parks right now, because of the COVID situation. But I've been inhabiting this guy.
Is that true?
I've been inhabiting this guy who normally walks around as Donald Duck. He's a Donald Duck guy. His name's also named Donald, but his last name's not Duck. It's Donald Johnson. So this guy, Don Johnson, I've taken a real shining to. And most of the time, now that he's not spending his days at the park being Donald Duck, the more famous Donald, he's just been sitting around kind of drinking Jack Daniels starting at about 10 or 11 in the morning. And man, I love me some Jack Daniels. So
I know. Yeah, well, Don. I know Don, who plays Donald Duck, and he used to work out of Miami, I believe. He was involved in policing, I believe.
Oh, he don't work out anymore. He mostly just sits around drinking Jack Daniels, watching Judge Judy. Jack and Judy is what we call it. It's a real great day. It's like I can't imagine. Like this is living. It's living down. It's like Southern living down here in Orlando. Jack and Judy all day.
Just a quick question, Bison. Like I know this podcast is about basketball, but I can't help. I have a lot of questions about the afterlife. You can embody animals and people. Can you not just embody yourself? Like your body's down there somewhere. Would you not want to come back as yourself?
It's pretty far underwater, DeBryce. I mean, if you... Yeah.
Pretty rude question.
Right. I get that.
Yeah. The sea is deep as fuck.
I'm very familiar with this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water in there.
You and your water, you're a professional water guy. You know the sea.
And I did try your new soda, DeBryce, Ocean Dew, and it was salty. I must say, it was fairly salty.
It's 100% LA seawater, baby.
Yeah, so it sounds like you know a lot about the sea. So I mean, use that brain you got over there, son. Come on.
And DeBryce, I got one question too. Have you partnered at all with this ocean spray guy? This guy on TikTok that's making all this money, or not? Maybe not.
I'm trying to get him to be an influencer for me. Obviously, his phone's blowing up. I think the main problem is, ocean spray comes in like a plastic jug thing, and it looks quite nice with the branding.
Does look
Fortunately,
nice,
my products, they come in like gourds made from goat organs, so it's not as aesthetic as a nice ocean spray with the logo and everything. So it's a pretty big deterrent for influencers. But I'm trying to get it out there, like the natural angle.
Well,
get some of these hipsters.
Speaking of goat organs, my stomach is rumbling. I better go get some food. All of my organs are goat organs, I'm told these days.
I've checked. They are. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you all for dropping in. It's been so good catching up with you and getting to know you, Bison. I hope you haunt more of my places of employment in the future.
Oh, no doubt, man. You'll see me around, whether you know it or not.
Please don't inhabit my wife. I don't know if I could handle Mac Hunt just being under your control.
Can't make any promises, bro, but I'll remember you said that.
All right.
Everyone's gonna remember you said that.
Yeah.
So thank you, DeBryce. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Bison.
Thanks for having me.
Well,
you never know where
NBA
Bison Daly is going to show up these days.
Well, hopefully back in an NBA player's body because I'm excited for the new season. Well, I'll see you all back.
See Christmas Day,
See you in the
See ya,
bubble.
Christmas.
Bubble 2.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Don't
Bye.
forget me.
Wow, what an episode.
That was really interesting.
So, some things that call into question the legitimacy of some of the outcomes.
That's true.
bubble.
Yeah. And also raises some questions about were there really no COVID tests positive, because it sounds like there were quite a few names I heard mentioned that are still maybe some loose ends.
Yeah, definitely something to figure out. I mean, we gotta be careful. There's it's still out there.
Yeah.
This bad boy wreaking havoc.
This corona is still somewhere.
So we have a few people. We have a few people to thank. Yeah, you can.
You sound a little
bit
bit like Dubron Ames there, almost for a second.
PayPal. Yeah, you can PayPal these people to thank them for whatever their contribution was to the show. So Seán, Gallen, and Andrew Ritchie.
Yeah.
Very helpful to make the show happen somehow.
Yeah.
We gotta thank.
But we also have to thank the Comedy Cafe Berlin for hosting our live shows. And we also have to thank Bear Radio for hosting our podcast online, as well as Banglist for our theme song.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's the end of the episode, Trevor.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to miss basketball, and I'm curious to see what happens.
Well, I look forward to NBA Bubble Babble too.
Electric Boogaloo.
No. Thank you.
Berlin. It's the Berlin Open Stage Show. Berlin. It's the Berlin Open Stage Show.
It's the boss.
Oh, yeah.